Sin is what got us in captivity. Sin is what got us on cargo slave ships. Sin is what got us still in the hood to this day. Baruch 4 and 6.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 6. Ye were sold to the nations.
Right, so the Israelites, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we have been sold to the nations. That's why we don't know who we are no more. That's why we don't know our homeland no more. We've been sold. That's why when you look at your last name, what last name do you have? A white man last name. The same name as our slave masters on the plantation. To this day, we got the same last names. Why is that? My brother, you ever ask yourself, why do we have the same last name as the white men in the slave plantations, the slave master owners? Hey, my brother, you hear me? I got a serious question for you, my brother. Could you answer this question for me? Could anybody answer this question? We crying out for our people.
You can tell by my gait that I'm all in. You can tell by my faith that I'm all in. Front line with the truth, I'ma fall in. Even if it's a dead end, going all in. You can tell by the things I'm involved in. I can lose it all for my calling. If I die for the truth, it's a win-win.
If you look on this time, what would be your so-called nationality? Would it be American black, West Indian, Haitian, Puerto Rican, Cuban, Dominican? Which one? Puerto Rican? So your father would be Puerto Rican? Alright, so you'll be from the tribe of Ephraim. This your sons? So y'all would be from the mighty tribe of Ephraim.
That's right.
You know who else is from the tribe of Ephraim? Huh? Have you ever heard of Joshua? Never heard of Joshua in the Bible? Have you read the Bible before?
Not the whole Bible, no.
Alright, because this is our heritage, my brother. Come over here real quick.
Bring it out.
Because this book right here is our heritage. This is how we know you are from the tribe of Ephraim. This is how we know we are the Israelites. You understand? Because are you familiar with the history of Moses when he split the Red Sea?
Yeah.
You are? Now, this is our history book. This is how we know in 2025 how we could go in the Bible and read these prophecies and tell today who our people is. Because in the Christian church, did they ever teach you that we are the Israelites? For example, in the school system, did they ever tell y'all we are the Israelites? No, they didn't. Why you think that is? You're not sure? All right, this is why. Because God chose us above all other people. But yet we broke God's laws, and God told us, hey, I'm going to give you all my laws and statutes. Actually, we're going to read it real quick. Deuteronomy 28:15. Read that real quick. Deuteronomy 28:15. And we're going to bring the sense. I'm going to break it down real quick. All right? Read that real quick. Deuteronomy 28:58. And because this is very important, because this is our history. History is very important. But they don't never teach us this. They don't never teach us our true history. Read.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15.
So, when we got delivered out of Egypt, Moses split the Red Sea through the Most High, and we went into the wilderness, where the Lord dealt with us face to face. And this is what he told us. He gave us blessings, and then he gave us curses. But this is what he said. Read.
Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day.
So this was a future prophecy. The Lord said, hey, I command you to do these commandments, and I command you this day. Read.
That all these curses,
read.
That all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Is a curse a good thing or a bad thing?
It could be both.
It could be both. A curse? Also, for example, is a blessing a good thing or a bad thing? It's a good thing, right? So on the flip side would be a curse. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Right. Because in Deuteronomy 28, he said he was going to send us blessings. But I'm trying to speed it up for you, so I'm speeding up. So I got verse 15. He gave us blessings and curses. But I'm speeding up for you to make it faster, you understand? So a curse would be a bad thing, right? So give me verse 16.
This is book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 16.
Bring it out.
Cursed shall thou be in the city.
Read.
Cursed shall thou be in the city.
It said, cursed shall I be in the city. That's our people. In every city you go to in America, in South America, in Africa, anywhere in the world, any city you go to the hoods. What people is there? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. If you look on this sign, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the Israelites. We are the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. So, if you go into any hood in America, South America, Africa, you're going to find the Israelites. That is a curse that is on our people. We've been mass incarcerated, the homeless rate, the worst education, the worst job, last hired, first fired. Is that happening to the Chinaman? Is the Chinaman in the hood? Huh? No, the Chinaman is the Arab man in the hood.
Bring it out.
The Arab man have his own businesses. We buy from him. We fill his pockets up. But yet our people is the most incarcerated, is the most impoverished. That is a curse. That's a curse on our people. Read.
Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field.
In the field, in the sugar cane fields, the cotton fields, and all type of fields, the strawberry fields in Plant City. Who worked those jobs? Even today, who worked those jobs picking, cursed in the fields? Immigrants. That would be the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We picked for free in slavery, just like everybody's the 9 tribes in South America did the same thing in the sugar cane fields and all other type of fields. We did it for free. That's slavery. We did it in slavery. Get verse 49. Read.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28.
Actually, give me 33.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 33.
You know?
The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up.
So in Puerto Rico, who came to Puerto Rico and took the land and now sell all the products of Puerto Rico, sell it back to the so-called Puerto Ricans? Spaniards. Correct. That is correct. Same thing over here with the North Americans, Indians, which is Gad. They took the land, now they selling it back to everybody else. But guess what? They stole the land in the get-go. Read.
And thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed, always.
And now we are mass incarcerated. Now we are impoverished. Now we're poor. Now we got the worst education. Why? Because we broke God's laws. Give me verse 49.
This is verse 49. And the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth.
Now you said Spaniard, right? That's correct. The Spaniards came from far. They came from the way across the world. But guess what? We was already over here. Read.
As swift as the eagle flieth.
As swift as an eagle flieth. Because what nation used the eagle? What nation of people use the eagle to represent their people? Correct. The United States, Spaniard. You see that eagle? They've been using that eagle for decades, for centuries.
Bring it out.
Read it again.
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth.
Right, so that was the Spaniards came from far. Read.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
So that's why Northern Kingdom brothers speak Spanish today. We speak English. Why? Because the English conquered us over here, but the Spaniards conquered our Northern Kingdom brothers.
That's about Christ.
The Spanish conquered them. That's why today we speak English over here. Yeah, y'all was conquered by the Spaniards. That's why we speak Spanish. Now this is history. Everything we stand, we're reading the Bible. But guess what? Look it up. It's historical facts.
That's right.
It happened. It can't be disputed. Like anybody that come up to us, go look it up. What they say, Google it. That's all you gotta do. It's facts. It's the truth. So read.
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor of the young.
Right, because when they came, they destroyed the old, they destroyed the young, they raped our women, and guess what? They put us in captivity. And to this day, we are still in captivity. That's why we still in the hoods. That's why people haven't rose back to our true power. But guess what? Do we know our true power? Huh?
Education.
Huh?
Education.
Education our true power, right? Verse 47. So this is why this happened to us. This is why we was conquered. Read that.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies.
So the Lord chose us above all people upon the earth, and he gave us his commandments. That's all we had to do was keep the commandments. But the Lord said, okay, because so you don't want to serve me. You're not going to keep my commandments? Well, okay. Well, now you're going to serve our enemies. And now today, as an example, that's what we're doing now. We serving our enemies in the hood, in the ghettos, even on the job we work. On 95% of jobs we work on, we working for another nation of people. We're making other nation of people rich. We're not working for ourselves. We're serving our enemies. We're making them rich. We're making them millions of dollars while we sitting on the bottom still broke, barely could provide for our families. We barely could do that, but yet this is a curse on our people because we broke God's laws. But at the end of the day, God still chose us. Give me verse 43. No, give me go back to Baruch 4 and 6 real quick. Now the Lord didn't sell us into slavery for our destruction because the Lord loved us, right? Read that.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 6. Ye were sold to nations, not for your destruction, but because you moved God to wrath.
Right, so the Lord sold us to the other nations, not for our destruction, but because we made the Lord mad by sinning against the Lord. The Lord said, okay, you don't want to serve me? Well, okay, I'm going to show you how I feel to serve your enemy. Let's see if the other nations love you then. Now we seeing right now in today's form, all nations don't love us. All nations come together to keep us at the bottom, because when 12 tribes is united as one people, we're a problem. We gonna rule the world. Read that.
Ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because he moved God to wrath.
Right, my brother, come look on the sign, because my brother, my family over here is from the tribe of Ephraim. If you come over here and look on the sign, what would be your so-called nationality? American, black, West Indian, Haitian, Puerto Rican? Because we brethren. The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American is one family. One family. You understand that, my brother? Finish that.
He were delivered unto enemies, for he provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not to God. He hath forgotten the everlasting God that brought you up.
Right. Give me Amos 3 and 1. So by sacrificing to other gods, God chose us above all people. God never chose another people. He didn't chose us and turn around and pick somebody else. No, he chose us from the beginning, and guess what? It still stands today. That's right. We are God's chosen people. The Israelites, the so-called blacks, Hispanic, Native Americans are God's chosen people. Read it, and if you don't, If you don't believe, all you have to do is read the Bible. It says it. Read this.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 1.
Bring it out.
Hear this word that the Lord hath spoken against you, O children of Israel.
So the Lord said, hear this word that the Lord has spoken against us, O children of Israel. The children of Israel is the 12 tribes of the children of Israel, which is the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
That's right.
We are one people, one nation. Read.
Hear this word that the Lord hath spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt.
So the whole family is the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. Read.
Saying, you only have I known.
Hold up, wait a minute. The Lord said what?
Saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth.
He said, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. That mean a China man, that mean the Arab man, that mean the East Indian man. He don't know them. He said he only know the Israelites. Because when we went into the wilderness, he wasn't dealing with all nations. He was only dealing with the Israelites. He only gave his commandments to the Israelites. And he said, you keep these.
Bring it out.
He said, you keep my words. I didn't give it to them. I gave it to you. Therefore, if we break it, just like a father punish his child, just like if they disobey you, if they go against you, what you gonna do? Discipline. That's right. Guess what? The same thing our Father do with us. As a people, we're being disciplined right now, today. Read.
Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
You say what?
I'm gonna pick him up soon.
Okay, his mom gonna pick him up. All right, so hey man, this is very important because you have to teach your sons this, man. This is very important knowledge for your sons to know. You got a flyer?
Yeah.
You got to teach your sons this. It's very important for our sons and daughters to know who they is, let alone you got to know who this is. Real quick, what color Christ is?
Brown.
Huh? He's brown. How you know that?
Light brown.
He light brown? All right, so according to the scriptures, because this is one thing we've been lied about all our life. Every time we see this picture, we think that this is Jesus Christ. When we've been lied to all our life, we've been lied to about this image. There's nowhere in the Bible where it says Christ looked like that. We're gonna get the true image how Christ really looked. Real quick, read that. Hey, my brother, you hear me? Huh? My little brother, you hear me? Hey, this is very important for you to hear too, because you probably was taught who this is, right? You probably was taught that was Christ, right? Come back, my brother, come back real quick. You gotta go too? All right, hey, this is very important information. Read that.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him, to show unto the servants things which must surely come to pass.
Right, so revelation means to reveal. We revealing to y'all the true image how Christ really looked it, knocking down all the lies we've been taught. Something verse 14.
Verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So the hairs on his head, let me get right here. The hairs on his head and the hairs on his beard was white like wool. What nation of people have woolly hair? Huh?
Africans, Americans.
Right, we do. The 12 tribes of Israel. Read.
His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as flame of fire.
And his eyes was as a flame of fire. This guy's eyes is blue. It say the Lord eyes was red because he was prophesied for his eyes to be red with wine in Genesis 49. Read.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
What color is brass?
Brown.
It's brown, like you said, right? Brown. But let's see how brown. Read.
As if they burn in a furnace.
But if you burn that brown, if you burn that brass, what color do it turn? Black. That's right. Read.
That's right.
And his voice as the sound of many waters.
So Christ spoke with authority. A man among men. He ain't speak like the Christian pastor. Yes, sir, it is. No, he spoke with authority like a man and commanded. He ain't asking nothing. He commanded like a man. Just how he commanded us in the book of Deuteronomy. Those commandments still apply to this day.
That's right.
What is the nation? Someone refused to sell drugs.
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models.